I love the idea of exploring space, of discovering strange new worlds, of building cool spaceships, and of settling in places other than Earth. When I was a kid, I was watching this series called Space 1999. It was basically a British Star Trek knockoff. This is what we had on TV, okay? The series tells the story of Moonbase Alpha, in a world where a massive explosion caused the moon to break away from Earth's orbit, hurtling into deep space, bringing Moonbase Alpha with it. And as the moon penetrates deeper and deeper into space, including via a couple of wormholes, the staff of Moonbase Alpha must contend with various challenges, meeting new alien races, encountering exotic phenomena, strange new worlds, all that. Except the USS Enterprise is a heavenly body. I loved the idea of Moonbase Alpha. I love the idea of space colonies in general. This is why, when I heard Elon Musk talk about wanting to colonize the moon, I was like, what? Are you fucking mental? A moon colony?
Okay, so every single time I hear someone begin an argument with like, I love this thing, I'm really passionate about this thing, but what it usually tells me is that the person is basically trying to be like, hello fellow kids, how are you doing? Like, I'm one of you guys, right? And I, unlike you, am a decent person, and if you want to be decent, you have to have my opinions. Also, he is British, so I guess he is pretty ass hurt over the fact that Elon Musk was supporting Restore.uk. Can't really prove it, I just have a feeling.
You want to live on the fucking moon? And let's just put aside the fact that Musk had been promising a Mars colony for a decade, saying how he would land a human on Mars 2 years ago. And now, 10 years...
I mean, are we going to apply the same corporate hype to every single other product? Are you going to apply, you know, to McDonald's that basically wants to expand more restaurants and then ends up not expanding? Or, I don't know, to Hollywood that basically talks about making more blockbuster films and then ended up flopping? Like, a person that's in charge of a corporate enterprise can set goals, and some of those goals may not happen while others one can. But every single person that has been successful in human history will tell you that they have done so by dreaming big. If the person dreams small, then he can never achieve anything, right? So, like, to me, it's not out of the ordinary that someone with the finances like Elon Musk says, yeah, we want to start the Mars colony. And that's what he says 10 years ago. Now, during that event, things happen. You know, you have, like, a global pandemic. You have a war between Russia and Ukraine. You know, things that he couldn't have foreseen. And so you end up, like, shrinking your ambitions. And now you're basically like, okay, well, I'm not going to make a Mars colony. I'm going to make a moon colony. But the thing here is the idea that a moon colony is something unthinkable, something that shouldn't be done. This is the problem, right? Because he's using his angst towards Elon Musk, which gets clickbait and clicks for talking against him, to basically like suggesting that no, like humanity should never attempt at colonizing the stars because it's too expensive, it's too difficult, it's fucking insane. Now, here's my problem with this. First and foremost, anyone that actually reads about what Europeans went through when they colonized the New World would realize that colonization is something incredibly deadly, incredibly unsafe, to the point where Europe had to use deportation, in other words, arrest people and ship them to the New World just so they have labor force there. Like, you need to understand what being shipped to the New World meant back then, right? Like, when we think about the tropics now, like the tropics are a really nice place to have a vacation. Back then, 1 out of 3 colonists would die from dysentery. Like, they would literally shit their guts. The other people that survived, they could die from other tropical diseases. There were all sorts of parasites that would dig into your foot or into your fucking eye socket and kill you like that. The natives were very hostile as well. The jungle fucking screamed at you. Like, you had to go through a jungle that had very few roads, and you had to hack your way through the jungle. It was like sweat and everything. It was literally hell on earth. And again, like, most colonists did die, right? But humanity has persevered. Like, it was an immense amount of resources and human capital meant in order for us to colonize the New World. And so I genuinely do not see why the moon would be a problem. Would it be extremely difficult? Yes. Does it have to be done? Absolutely. I cannot even imagine the future, like, let's say 500 years from now, without the humans having colonized the moon. Like, that just doesn't even compute to me. And the reason for it is not necessarily that the moon has certain resources that we need, even though, like, a space station on the moon would allow for cheaper rockets to be launched. But it's also scientific. Like, we actually need to find out how human beings can live on another stellar body. We actually need to figure out things that would help us colonize other planets. Like, the leftists are constantly freaking out about the environmentalism, about how Earth is going to die, right? But when you finally have a solution, well, the left is afraid because they're losing power, right? Like, no, like, people need to still stay on Earth. And there are actual leftist environmentalists that said that human beings shouldn't become like a locust going through the universe. We can't colonize the moon because colonism bad. It's like, listen, you fucking retard. Colonism is bad if you do it because other people are there. Nobody is on the fucking moon, right? And so you're colonizing empty space. But anyway, let's listen to some of these arguments.
Years after the original promise, this gigagenius realized that actually, the moon is closer. Wow, my God, Elon Musk, how does he do it? How does he do this?
The thing is, like, Mars is actually better because it has more resources, and you can actually set up colonies on Mars that can produce more value in the long term. Meanwhile, the moon is actually cheaper to colonize, right? But it doesn't have the same resources that Mars has. So this is probably why, like eventually, Elon probably said, okay, well, and it's not just Elon, like, this is another mental retardation, like, to believe that Elon Musk just walks by himself and he calls decisions, right? Like, he's the CEO, but there's other investors, there's other scientists he talks about. So it's basically like his scientists that he discusses this with. And they probably said, like, look, the investment cost for Mars is pretty staggering, but the return for humanity and the future is actually pretty great. Like, if you manage to colonize Mars, then you can use the same things in order to colonize the moon. But then probably had another discussion. It was like, look, we can't afford that, but the moon is still possible.
Okay, I guess we're doing a moon colony now. Let's just forget about the decade of constant promises about the Mars colony. To the moon!
It's the thing is, like, he's not promising to you, you moron, right? Like, it's not like Elon Musk has gotten your money to invest into it. That's the interesting thing, right? Like, he's acting like he's a shareholder or even a stakeholder in all of this, right? Meanwhile, Elon Musk has got his own business, his own CEO, and notice how, like, he doesn't complain about the things that work. Like, for example, Starlink. Like, Starlink is bringing internet to many people, is bringing internet to Ukraine, right? Reusable rockets, the number of rockets that don't explode compared to the ones that the EU have. So, like, again, the reason that I dislike this presentation is that it's trying to manipulate me. Like, it's trying to make me to hate Elon Musk. And the thing is, I don't even like Elon Musk. I'm just neutral about it. It's like, okay, he's a businessman, right? Like, to me, he's the same like Jeff Bezos. Like, Jeff Bezos promises a lot of shit. But I guess because Jeff Bezos doesn't go in Britain and he doesn't support Restore.uk, you don't get these types of videos about him, right?
Then it's gonna be great, as long as your definition of great is a horrifying disaster in every way imaginable. Why? Let's take a look. But first, here's a footprint.
Yeah, I'm going to go past the sponsored advertisement.
A Mars colony would make more sense than a moon colony, save for the distance.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter what makes sense, right? It matters, like, what you can afford. And usually the way things work is that if you manage to colonize the moon, then you create industry. That industry keeps producing stuff because there's a demand, and over time that stuff gets cheaper. And you have, like, new scientific innovations and stuff like that. So you basically use the colony for moon as a blueprint in order to colonize Mars. This is not even controversial. Like, this is just basic bitch planning.
Example, Mars at least has this thing called atmosphere. It's a very thin atmosphere, but hey, at least it's there. The moon has no atmosphere, which means on the surface you're in constant danger of micrometeorites.
That is the most retarded argument that I have ever heard. Like, first of all, Mars does have an atmosphere. It's like 1%. Yeah, sure, it will stop small meteorites, but it's not going to stop the large ones. But secondly, absolutely no serious expedition is going to consider building fragile structures on the moon. Like, they're probably either going to build something that's extremely durable, like you know, some alloys that we have on Earth that can resist the impact of small meteorites, or they're just going to build underground bases. Now, this video actually does cover underground bases and says, well, it's going to be really gloomy to live there. I'm pretty sure it's going to be fucking gloomy to live there. I mean, you're going to live on the moon, right? It's not going to be like a pleasure trip over there. It's going to be by very hardened people, the exact same people that humanity used when you colonized the New World. You know, like, it's not like, oh, we're sending someone to the tropics and he's like, well, you know, but it's very gloomy to live there with the forest screaming at me. And it's like, yeah, like, you're basically supposed to make the place livable for the future generation. It's not going to be nice, right? Like, anyone that thinks that this is going to be like sci-fi and being a first colonist to the moon is going to be a camping trip, like, it's seriously mistaken. But this whole thing with the meteorites is very easily solvable. Like, all you gotta do is either to build an underground base or to build constructions that are actually preventing the meteorites from reaching where the people are. And I think, like, we do have, like, titanium alloys and other stuff like that, right? You don't need to make, like, the whole building like that, but you need to make sure that the roofs are like that. And of course, accidents will happen, right? Like, eventually, if a lot of people are there, accidents are prone to happen. But this is why, you know, you can't have safetyism and have frontier colonization. They don't go hand in hand. Safetyism as safe and risk-adverse culture can only happen under peacetime and prosperity. But for colonists, for like people that are trying to push humanity forward or people that live in a crisis, safetyism just doesn't exist in that dojo.
Tiny rocks from space that are coming at you at the speed of a bullet. All it takes is one unlucky hit and you're done. Now this is not a problem if you only have a couple of dudes spending a few hours or days on the surface and then pack their stuff and go back to Earth. But if you have thousands of people out on the surface every day, you'll start having problems. Even more.
Yeah, I mean, people in the New World, you know, they got venomous snake bites. Or poisonous spider snake bites. I mean, in Australia. Holy shit, can you imagine colonizing Australia? Right? Was that a reason not to colonize it just because, like, accidents happen? No. Like, they colonized it, they tamed it, right? That's what frontier life looks like. I do suppose, like, it's unfair if you're going to point a picture of, you know, the moon being like in a sci-fi show and everything is nice and fine. But I don't think, like, it's going to be those types of people that are going to be the colonists anyway. Like, most colonists are probably not going to be disillusioned individual. They're just going to understand that it's a job extremely difficult, right? Probably very high paid as well. And they're the type of individuals that will do it.
More so with a big, wide, sprawling structure sitting around on the surface. If a bigger micrometeorite hits your habitat and demolishes a wall or a window, everyone in that habitat will be dead, including Mr. Galaxy Brain. Actually, we will design an energy barrier that will... Shut up, retard! Go back to your forks! But...
Yeah, see, like, the ad hominems and this type of thing. And acting like Elon Musk is the one planning everything... I mean, if he was actually planning everything and he actually understood engineering and he understood space travel, even if he doesn't understand it perfectly, like, he would probably be the smartest man on planet Earth. But he's not the smartest man on planet Earth. He's just the man holding the coin purse. He's literally hiring people that are basically telling him how to do things. No, I think that if you're going to colonize the moon, it's probably going to be an underground base. And if you do make it on the surface, you know, maybe they find some sort of material that allows for small meteorites not to hit it. As for the big meteorites, I don't know, they'll probably have to figure that out, right? Like, maybe have satellites or certain drones that can divert them. I don't fucking know, right? But this is just like why we haven't colonized the moon yet. But that doesn't mean that in the future, there's never going to be a solution. Just because, like, Elon Musk is doing it doesn't necessarily mean he will have the solution either. But, like, he can take people from point A to point B so that someone else in the future can take us to point C.
Micrometeorites are not the only things falling on you. Since there is no atmosphere or magnetosphere, that means exposure to unfiltered solar and cosmic radiation.
Again, this would happen on Mars as well. We already know about this, but the thing is that you can have a rotation for the people that are there. Like, you can genuinely have people that stay on the moon only for 10 years or only for 5 years and just rotate them. You can see if over time people don't develop a mutation or something that makes them more resistant to this level of radiation. And of course, you're going to have radiation shielding, right? Now, I'm not saying that it's possible. I'm saying that if scientists don't start cracking at it, we will never know. You know, like, if you take all the technology that we have today and you show it even to a person that lived 100 years ago, like, they will be completely baffled by what we have. And the reason we have is because of necessity. right? And so, like, if we have environmentalism, the world is dying, Greta Thunberg, your house is on fire. Well, you actually would support this, right? Like, this would be out of necessity. He then goes out and complains about other shit, like, for example, gravity. And he makes the mistake of saying that people on the space station are suffering from various illnesses. Now, here's the thing. A space station has no gravity, right? Like, a space station is actually in the cosmos. The moon does have some gravity. It doesn't have Earth gravity. Now, what would it do to the body of a person, to a lunar colonist? We genuinely don't know. We literally do not know what would happen if someone lives on the moon. There are no studies, right? Now, I'm assuming it's not healthy, but the question is, like, is it so unhealthy that it's detrimental to life? Well, I guess we'll find out, right? Same with animals. Like, if you have sheep, I mean, you got to bring animals to the moon, right? So that people there eat. What will happen to them? We don't know. We genuinely don't know. But anyway, I keep seeing these types of videos, and they're really interesting. I mean, to me, it looks like an anti-Musk boner, rather than, let's find out about science. To me, it feels like that Facebook group, I fucking love science, where, like, when they're actually talking about scientific things, everyone ignores it, but when they're like, science through a social justice lens, it goes viral. This is pretty much what I'm seeing here, and it's like, this is a channel with 1.3 billion subscribers, right? And it's just constant shitting on Musk. And they're using, like, this little... I don't even know how to say, because it's not really pseudoscience, but it's kind of like, well, this is the problem, it can't be done, right? Instead of saying, well, this is the problem, let's see how we can crack at it. And treating what Elon Musk is saying, it's like Elon Musk is a president or someone, like someone that's campaigning and is making promises to the public, and now the public is upset because they have buyer's remorse. It's like, unless you spend shares into Elon Musk's company, I don't understand why you're so assert about it. But anyway, right, let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.